Welcome to News Alert on Capital Television. Students are the worst off with no solution in sight as the nationwide strike by polytechnic lecturers enters the 16th week and 5 days. The teachers are demanding that government pays them their book and research allowance. According to Polytechnic Teachers Association of Ghana, POTAG, government's failure to pay them their allowances constituted a breach of their conditions of service. However, government insists it does not owe the teachers and has also announced plans to establish a new national research fund which the teachers could assess. After the Accra High Court declared the strike by polytechnic lecturers as legal, the Labour Commission is seeking a judicial review. POTAG, on the other hand, is at the court seeking its intervention in the deadlock. Polytechnic students will have to stay home a while longer as confusion over the book and research allowance continues. The polytechnics were closed down on 15th May after the strike crossed the 21 days. Per the Polytechnic Act, a school will be closed after 21 days of continuous strike by lecturers or students. The NPP leadership have positioned aspirants on ballot papers to be used to decide which 5 candidates proceed to the next stage. Kofi Kunedu Apreku took the first slot, while Joe Garte took the bottom position. 2 aspirants, Nana Akufo-Addo and Asamoah Boateng, were in attendance.
We are in discussions with the Electoral Commission about the organization of the ballot on the 31st of August, where the special delegate conference will be held around the 10 regional capitals and then also at the head office. So we are in the process of compiling the electoral register for this particular election. You know, this is a special delegates conference, and according to the NPP constitution, is our members of National Council, members of National Executive, regional executives, national executives, Council of Elders, members of Parliament, founding members who are still alive of the party, 3 representatives from the organs of our party, which means the youth wing, the women's wing, and the Nasara, and then 3 from accredited foreign branches. I believe I've covered, and then all past national officers who are alive. Balloting is always very simple. It's not complex at all. It's a matter of probability and chance. So it's like rolling a dice.
The Black Princesses have been defeated 2-1 by the Canucks of Canada in the opening match of the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup. The Black Princesses faced a rather partisan crowd at the Toronto National Soccer Stadium in the Group A contest with the Canucks of Canada. The Princesses have to win their next 2 games to qualify to the next round of the competition. Over 200 Ghanaian asylum seekers have been granted an initial 1-year permit by Brazilian authorities to stay and work in the country. The 200 Ghanaian supporters applied for asylum in Brazil under the reported pretext of a religious conflict in the country after Ghana's first-round exit from the World Cup. According to a supporter who secured his document, most of his colleagues have already started work in industries and construction sectors, indicating that others have left for Argentina, Ecuador and USA. Ghana's Sports Ministry is yet to get a response from the findings carried out by the Ghanaian Embassy in Brazil. Clashes between African migrants in the French port city of Calais have left more than 50 people injured. A fight which started on Monday evening at a food distribution center was initially broken up by police, but later continued into the night. Hundreds of migrants live in informal camps in the Calais port, trying to cross into Britain illegally. French police have spent months trying to break up the camps, but the migrants say they have nowhere else to go. The latest fight between Sudanese and Eritrean migrants have broken up for the second time once route police were deployed. In May, authorities attempted to evacuate the migrants from camps built near the port following court rulings, but many have simply moved to different areas in the city. Although the country has not recorded any Ebola virus outbreak, there are health challenges which require urgent attention. The capital is experiencing one of its worst cholera outbreaks, which has resulted in deaths. A report from the Ghana Health Service indicates that the cholera outbreak started in September 2013 in the central region, spreading to the eastern, upper west, northern and greater Accra regions, where 5,000 cases have been recorded. The Director of Public Health at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Dr. Simpson Boateng, says, though an imminent epidemic is at hand, there is no need for people to apportion blame, as the Assembly is doing its possible best to keep the city clean. Cholera is an acute diarrhea illness caused by Vibrio cholerae bacteria, which can result in a profound and rapidly progressive dehydration and death. Ingestion of water and food contaminated by infected human feces is the common means of acquiring the disease. Cholera is easily preventable if proper sanitary practices are followed, such as using safe water, disposing feces well as avoiding cold meals from roadside chop bars and restaurants. When Capital TV visited M Plaza at Kwame Nkrumah Circle, it became apparent that unless citizens change their way of life, an outbreak of any disease will result in heavy casualties. While food vendors sold food in the open, livestock such as sheep and goat were being maintained for sale in the vicinity. The area equally serves as transit station for travelers heading to cities such as Kumasi, Sunyani and the northern regions. Should travelers contract a disease in the city, the chances of spreading it to other parts of the country is high. Clearly, the Ministry of Health and the Ghana Health Service is ill-prepared to aggressively fight any outbreak in the country. Even though no Ebola virus has been confirmed, border officials say they have not been catered to protect themselves while screening people entering in the country. While neighboring countries have declared state of emergency, education of the nature, symptoms and mode of transmission of Ebola virus is still low. On the preparedness of the health service to fight the Ebola virus, Dr. Kwame Amponsa Achina, health specialist at the Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, says enough measures have been put in place to contain the virus should it break in the country. He urged citizens to guard against panic reaction.
We from the health sector, that's the Ghana Health Service, are pushing the powers. Of course, we are an arm of the ministry, or the implementation arm, one of the implementation arms of the ministry, and we are pushing what we think must be done. So for us, as far as we are concerned, we are still pushing hard. Ebola outbreak control stems from three main factors. You need to have trust in the health system, then the beliefs must be dispelled, unpopular beliefs must be dispelled, and then also put the right structures in place. And I think from the health sector's point of view, as I indicated earlier, the service, Ghana Health Service for that matter, is pushing for the necessary preparedness. So as we speak now, we've been major part of what we call the response team. And so, of course, the ministry that leads the direction, they lead the way, but we advise, and then we also push for the necessary things to be done. As I know, as of now, most of our areas, the regions, the districts have been communicated with to the fact that they should have holding centers, holding units, not necessarily isolation centers, but holding units where people can be transferred if there's a need to do so. Otherwise, for those that have major the districts and regions that have major facilities can have isolation centers. Communication to that effect has also been sent, and I believe that from the signals that are coming, we know that there are some who have complied with those chances of getting it is even very minimal. However, we advise that for anybody who has gone out, once you get back home, practice what we call universal precaution. Simple hand washing under running water with soap. It's very effective in preventing not just Ebola, but so many other diseases, including cholera and all the others.
That ends News Alert on Capital Television.